4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3, VRX Paris, Fort Smith.
I just woke up from the worst nightmare I've ever had in my entire life. I fell asleep in my chair. I dreamed that we ran off our Hall of Fame coach and we ended up with a coach with no resume. And just 2 years later, I dreamed that we actually played on Wednesday in the SEC tournament in the first game. I mean, what a nightmare, right? I mean, that's never happened before. I also dreamed that the coach we ran off didn't play until the last game of the tournament and had a double bye. I mean, could y'all imagine? I mean, I don't know why I dreamed that. I mean, I woke up in a cold sweat. It was like everybody was complaining and running off a guy who'd won a national championship, was in the Hall of Fame, 4 Final Fours, 3 other Elite Eights, over 400 wins at Kentucky, all-time winningest coach at Rupp, and we ended up with some guy that, I don't know. He's never even won a tournament game, never won anything of any kind. And I dreamed we was playing on Wednesday of the SEC tournament. I mean, how stupid a dream.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, produced by Colton Little,
with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
this is The Morning Rush.
Technically, the last part where Mark Pope hasn't won an NCAA tournament game is untrue because they won 2 this past season and ended up in the Sweet 16, just like the Razorbacks. But you heard a disgruntled Kentucky fan there. And most of their fans are, being that they're playing today against the LSU Tigers, and the Arkansas Razorbacks are playing Friday night against either Texas A&M, Oklahoma, or South Carolina Sooners, and the Gamecocks play today. It is so funny to hear and see the feedback. And then listen, they got us earlier this season. We all know what happened on January 31st, but they are definitely beefing with their basketball team in Lexington right now.
And that's a great beef to start with. I love it when Kentucky fans are disgruntled. Up in arms. What is up in arms? Does that mean you actually got to have your arms up to be up in arms? I think they are
Surrender Cobra style.
up in arms a little bit. What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market, our favorite place to stop in Fayetteville and pick up a thick filet or a bone-in ribeye or maybe just some sides for dinner tonight. They'll take care of everything you need. North Market Avenue, just off College and Rolling Hills Drive. RichardsCountryMeatMarket.com. It is a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
All right, so crawfish season's here at Richards. They have hot honey syrup, they have Irish soda bread, and they have $7 St. Patty's Day shirts. Plus
You
shark.
a suck the heads guy?
No, I don't suck any heads. Sharks, hogfish, walleye. That's what else they've got at Richards right now.
Are you a fish eater?
I mean, I'll eat it. There's a lot of other things at Richards I would choose before. That soda bread's
about as good as it gets now.
As good as it gets.
Walleye is outstanding.
It's good.
And I'm not a big fish eater. I'm not a guy that's going to tell you the difference between a great piece of salmon and rockfish or something. I don't know, but I'm going to tell you, walleye, creme de la creme. It's up there with crappie and walleye, about as good as it gets.
All right, so let me give you a rundown of the show today before we get into our beefs. Cal spoke with us yesterday, talked about this weekend, Darius, Malik, Billy, and the other guys that were able to have some success this season, what's ahead for him in the SEC tournament. Going to hear some stuff from Darius Acuff. I thought Bucky McMillan had an interesting take on mid-majors, being that he was a head coach of one of them last year at Samford. John Summerall is apparently not going to Italy since he took the Florida job to celebrate his wife's birthday. And I thought that was
anniversary.
Yeah, it's anniversary. Thank you.
That's even worse.
Bam Adebayo passes late Kobe Bryant yesterday. I know Colton said he wanted to get to that before he leaves for the football media luncheon later on. Richard Davenport's going to join us. And, that's pretty much a rundown of the show today.
I wish we'd heard from Cal after Bam Adebayo's 83 points. He played for Cal 9 years ago or whatever it was. Was a good college player.
Yeah.
Was a good college player. Wasn't probably he wasn't one of his best players ever, but right now he sits only in second place in single-game scoring with 83, passing Kobe Bryant, and the man, Wilt Chamberlain, still atop with 100 points.
And Colton said that, he's going to address that. And there is maybe some, not falsities, but some holes in that story that we can get to in just a bit. But, Bam was on, like you said, he was on that team with Malik and De'Aaron Fox. So he was like the third guy on that team. So very much, again, a really good college career. That was a really good team that beat us in the SEC championship in 2017. But not necessarily the guy that you expect to be sandwiched between Kobe Bryant and Wilt Chamberlain in the NBA points.
Plays for the Heat, right?
Correct.
So I mean, I saw that roll across the screen late last night. And that sometimes when you're on a heater, sometimes just the hoop looks like a wash bucket up there.
Oh, I forgot, Tommy. I forgot to tell you. Do you when you go? You're in Virginia right now. Is there gambling? Is there legal casinos in
I
Virginia?
passed one last night.
Okay,
So the answer is yes.
I figured that was the case. Did you?
I don't know if there's sports wager. I think you can wager on your phone here.
Did you happen to partake?
No,
Okay.
we drove by. I was me and Bruce last night were driving around. He was showing me the city after a great dinner along the James River last night in downtown Richmond, and the casino's name is Rosie's.
That's kind of cool. I like that. Okay.
So,
my buddy won $3,000 on craps this weekend, and I forgot to mention
that's another place you want to get on a heater.
Let me tell you something. I think one of my beefs is I still don't know and understand craps completely because I wanted to participate, but I was too scared because I thought I would lose all my money. But everyone that is a degenerate gambler that I talked to said that's the best game to do.
Well, the first time I ever played craps, I didn't know anything about it. My dad took me to a place called Casino Royale in Las Vegas, Nevada, because they had 100 times odds, which I had no idea what that meant, but it was a big deal to him. And I put $200 in, and I was just following instructions, doing what he told me to do. And this old guy at the end of the table could barely stand up, rolled those dice for about 45 minutes.
Jeez Louise.
And an hour later, I walk out of there with $900, and I thought it was the greatest game in the world.
Okay. Well, I guess I.
And
need
Dad
to
walked out with several thousand because apparently that 100 times odds when things are going well can make you healthy.
Okay.
So,
all right. Well,
yeah.
guess I need to learn how. All right. Here's my first initial beef.
Don't roll sevens at the wrong time.
Did you forget anything for this weekend? Because for whatever reason, I can spend an hour looking at my suitcase, getting ready for a small 1-day trip, 2-day trip, maybe a week, and I still, as soon as I get to my destination, have forgotten something every single time. It's like clockwork. And I don't know if I just need to start writing things down like I do in my planner, but it's so aggravating. It's just like, man, I feel like
So what'd you forget?
Yeah, is it
well, I don't know.
important
But I'll tell you, when I get to Bridgestone Arena, hopefully it's not a piece of radio equipment, and I will have forgotten something here in several hours from now. And it happens every single time.
I don't think I did on this trip. I've gotten better about having a bag, a briefcase, because usually what I forget is the proper charger or the second charger or the battery that I need, while you're in the airport or on the plane. There's no plug-in. But I've been on a traveling spree here for work the last few weeks, and so I think I've got it down. But yes, I feel your pain. I have done that because there's nothing worse than having to go to the airport vending machine or find a place in your destination and buy a new charger when you got a brand new one at the house or the office or whatever. Now you're spending $20 on something you don't. You got to have it. You need it, but you don't really need it.
And the one
because
that
they take advantage of people that forget.
They
so they get
break it off in you.
Oh man.
Oh,
I don't understand how
break it off.
Clothing apparel stores. I get the convenience stores in an airport, but when you look at a clothing store price, and I guess it's for that same reason, you just forget your items at home or you forgot to pack them or whatever. I've never understood the idea of buying anything unless you forget it in an airport because it's marked up a good, 30, 40, 50%, depending on what it is. I'm like you. I try and avoid. The only thing I'm using in an airport, spending money on is food, unless I just have to have something because I cannot raw dog a flight.
Some people like to give gifts to show they've been places to people that they love,
Okay.
their friends and family that they care about. So
That makes sense. But that's a convenience.
Kind of like a commemorative coin or
Yeah,
something from
yeah,
the Capitol.
commemorative coin.
Yeah, thank you.
Mine's proudly displayed on my bureau.
Do you want something from this weekend?
No, that's fine.
You
commonly bring me an item here or there, so I just thought I would return the favor, and I don't get to the things I get to do to help lead our company.
Tommy,
I couldn't do without a great
and Colton
team around us to carry it on when I'm out.
EC tournament item. ITEMS. Yeah. All right, it's in the planner. That means
my sizes. You need. What do you need?
What sizes are you?
Well, depends on what you're buying. So
all right. Let's see. Josh calls the airport economics the bleep economics. That's a good way to put it.
It's like the movie theater. They got you. I mean, you're going to pay.
There's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to run.
You can't smuggle it in.
No.
Okay, that's my. Is yours something airport related? Being that you're going to be.
I could pick several. The Charlotte airport. Well, it's not a terrible air. It is laid out in a manner that is not efficient for the traveler. I mean, we landed at like gate A36, and I had to go to the other end of the airport, which I had plenty of time coming out to my destination this week. Coming back, I've got a 34-minute layover. I don't know that I can get from one end of the airport to the other.
And when you say
34 minutes,
that's when your flight leaves, right? So really, it's like
assuming my flight leaves on time and lands on time.
And let's say it does. That's really like a 15 to 20 minute, because don't they shut the doors about 15 or 10 minutes before you actually are supposed to depart? Because that's the thing, like on these airports, and an American, Tommy, or one of these other airlines will have a little asterisk. They'll have a little red thing saying very short layover. What that a lot of times mean is, hey, there's a good chance you're going to miss the flight that we're trying to connect you to. So that's
I got to stay up. Now I got to stay up till midnight tonight because I can change it same day for free. And now they want like $700, which is more than the cost of the original ticket to change it now. So I guess I'm going to risk it.
We were a little nervous flying out of Fort Lauderdale, and because there was issues with TSA and baggage and stuff, we got there an hour and a half before, thinking that was plenty of time. Luckily, we made it. 3 of us had TSA. One guy didn't. He made it within like 5 minutes. He got so lucky. But we looked on this, like the same day flight change, thinking, okay, it might be a couple $100. It was like $3,000.
Yeah,
$3,000 plus. Like what? $3,000, and that's another beef. It's like, man, you think the idea would be, there's these seats left on a plane that no one's using. Maybe the airlines will not break it off in our you-know-whats. Yeah. No.
And once you shut that door, how much are those seats worth?
Nothing.
0.
You would think that.
All right, so What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richards Country Meat Market. We got all sorts of stuff coming up this week. The Bet Saracen app with college tournaments. I tried to find last night the Big 12 tournament. I wanted to see this LED floor. I couldn't find it anywhere. I only had ESPN and ESPN2 in my Hampton Inn. But Bet Saracen's going to have lines on everything throughout the week. This is really – I think March Madness has really begun. You're playing for so much this week. So if you want college basketball, you want the NBA. I don't know what the odds would have been on Bam Adebayo going for 80-plus last night, but you probably got good odds if you found that one somewhere. I bet that one wasn't out there. It's all there at Bet Saracen. So Arkansas's #1 sports betting app is Bet Saracen. Find them at betsaracen.com.
You had brought up that Hog Final Four 50% protection, where you bet on the Hogs and you get 50% of your stake back if the Hogs don't make it. So I listen. I said last week that I would bet on something else. I'm sticking to that. Maybe I feel differently after this weekend. But as far as the SEC tournament goes, I think if you look at the Arkansas's chance, I mean, right now they're second best odds of anyone in the tournament. And that includes Alabama, who is a seat above you. Heard Darius Acuff talking about another crack we can get into coming up. But I do believe Arkansas is the second best odds to win this. I just don't think anyone's going to beat Florida, to be honest.
All right, one more beef before opening drive.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't mind the time change. I know some people get all up in arms about we should just stay on daylight savings. I'd be fine with that. But that's not a hill I'm going to die on. But man, you should not do daylight savings time change and then fly to another time zone going east in the same weekend. That is I haven't been able to go to sleep at a reasonable time here or back at home all week long. And I don't sleep well on the road generally, but then when you couple that with, an hour time change and an hour time zone, it is I don't know about you. I hadn't slept well all week. And I know we had storms in Arkansas last night that probably kept some people up in the middle of the night. I bet more than half of our audience has not had a good night's sleep this week.
I think that's an easy beef to latch on to.
That's an easy one this week. And I don't really care one way or the other. I only had to change, like, physically one clock in my house. It was the one on the oven. Everything else is tied to your phone or tied to a piece of electronics. It does it automatically. I almost forgot that if my phone hadn't reminded me that we were leaping forward an hour, I wouldn't have known.
Forgot. Yeah,
I forgot.
I've got an analog alarm clock I had to change, and then the oven had to change. So listen,
that's it.
Did microwave change on its own?
I mean, it used to be.
It just has the zeros. There's no time, I don't think.
Yeah, it's the same way. I mean, that used to be a big deal for us here at the radio station, making sure the computers, everything leaped forward or fell back, twice a year. I mean, now it's just
like clockwork.
Technology. It's like clockwork, exactly.
Suey fan, you like that? That's listen. Every once in a while, you're like, man, this kid's not as dumb as we thought.
Yeah, about twice a year, like the time change.
Suey fan says, I slept like a rock. The stove clock still hasn't changed. Well,
yeah, I'm glad you did because I haven't at all this week.
Hopefully you have. All right, let's get into what Cal had to say yesterday.
We have no intention of holding him out, but we got 2 days of practice. Something happens. He wanted to play that last game. I mean, people that watched him on the bench could tell. He got to defend better. If we're going to do something postseason, he's got to defend better. The reason defense matters in the NCAA tournament, it's about one game, not the best of 3, 4, 5. It's one game. Well, whatever you're going to invest to change the coach, why don't you invest it in NIL? You are playing to hold your seed. He is doing great. My guess is we would probably have to be in the Final Four for him to have any chance to play.
This is the opening drive.
All right, so Cal said a lot of things there, and I'll sum it up.
I'm not sure who he said them all about.
The initial statement was about Darius Acuff. They don't plan on holding him back Friday night.
That one made sense.
The last statement about a player was about Carter Knox, whose availability is not going to be ready until a potential Final Four run.
All right, who's got to play the defense? That was the one that caught my attention.
Yes.
Oh, you talking about Acuff there?
Acuff. Right. Hey, did you end up counting?
Can't talk about the player of the year that way.
How many? So I was curious. So I listened live yesterday, and so did Colton. He said defense a lot. How many times did John Calipari mention defense in that 20-minute press conference?
There were 11 total mentions of defense, defending, or defensively. So
point of emphasis. Listen, this team offensively could go to Indianapolis. And if they somehow, some way figure out the defensive aspect that's plagued them in even wins this season, like they've had to beat teams by scoring 80, 90 plus. Yep. And I get some teams do that, then this team's going to take that next step. Now, they still don't have a lot of strength at the center position. Ewan's inconsistent, haven't got what you necessarily need from Nick Pringle this year. But that kind of, I was starting to tally him. I was like, man, he's mentioned this a lot. You do have an all defensive player in Billy Richmond. You have a guy who apparently talks the most in DJ Wagner. And if Darius and Malik continue to hopefully turn in the right direction, maybe they can shock someone in this NCAA tournament.
We don't have time now, but some point later in the show, maybe the next segment, when is a foul worth a bucket? At what point? Because there's a time in the game where it's not, and then there's a time in the game when, all right, I'm going to give up one of my 5 fouls here, my 3rd foul, to stop someone from driving to the rim. We're not a team with enough depth that you can just willy-nilly the damn fouls. I mean, you're a team that can score enough points that sometimes the other team scoring in the first half is not worth the second foul on a key player. And when you only have 7 that can go right now, they're all key players. So, I mean, I think maybe that's something we can kick around and the audience can react. But I don't always think a foul is worth stopping a bucket. And I don't always think a timeout is worth saving a possession when you only get 4 that you can call in a game.
Which
Two things I think are inside the game. Maybe you'll have some thoughts on that. We can get to it when we can peel that onion back a little bit more.
I think the most SEC minutes Isaiah Sealy played was like 12 or 13, right around there. He's played he's played in single digits when he's been in lately. I'm curious, knowing that Carter is like this. They've known that, but this is the first time that Cal's publicly said since that email came out and the public release that we don't timelines up in the air. So they know what they're doing behind the scenes. But what does his minutes continuity look like, especially with guys? And I know it's going to vary game by game with foul trouble, but how much is a kid that has still not played a lot this season going to impact this basketball team, not only this weekend in Nashville, Tennessee, but in the weekends to come? Could he be that unsung hero that gives you a bucket or gets that defensive stop? I brought this up on Monday, Tom. I think you were gone. If you watch that final sequence for Missouri before the game basically concluded, you would knock down those free throws. He stopped the ball, and if you watch that play, he didn't make a ton of great plays in that game. But the phrase that I heard all growing up on defense after rebound: "Stop the ball, stop the ball, stop the ball." Sure enough, that kid did it. Led to a turnover. Arkansas pulls off a 4-point win, and you just hope that he continues to make plays like he did this past Saturday.
Well, and thank God Missouri just wanted to stand out there in the circle and dribble. I mean, I believe at the end of regulation and overtime. I mean, their ineptitude on offense is what saved us. I mean, defense should get some credit. I agree, but they just dribbled their way out of that possession. I mean, it made no sense to me at all.
Tito Harris was, like you said, dribbling the ball. He took a contested floater, I think, over BJ. And
it was a horrible last shot for having as much time as you had. And I understand you want to limit it to one possession. I didn't understand that at all at the end of that Missouri game. All right, that's where we're at here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. We're brought to you by the Fence Man. 782-3936 is their number. TheFenceManAR.com is their website. You can see examples of their work, including custom-powered automatic gates. So whether you're at work and you've got a yard where you're keeping inventory or supplies and you need it secure, they can put up an industrial-type fence. If you have a home that you want to secure with powered automatic gates, they can do that as well, and any kind of fencing that you can think of. 782-3936, the Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
All right, when we come back in your Hog Update, are going to hear from Darius Acuff, what he had to say about his season thus far, where the Arkansas Razorbacks are headed. We've got some other things to get into this hour. Morning Rush Daily Question. Tommy also mentioned the conference tournaments. We'll update you on that. Stay with us. It's the Morning Rush.
Well, he's talking about Richard's Meat Market because that's my spot. And, of course, Richard and Chris have been around forever.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
I'm based with you guys.
You don't just maintain your land, you master it. And at Sutherland's, we've got the steel to help you do it. Experience the brute force of a bad boy mower. These mowers turn a weekend chore into a victory lap. But every great machine needs a home. Our Sutherland's custom barns are built to last. Call 1-800-66-BARNS. Sutherland's, with 4 stores in Arkansas, Fort Smith, Huntsville, Hot Springs, and Stuttgart, and online at Sutherlands.com. No matter the project, we're here to help, because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
Hey, Arkansas, got your ticket? The Mega Millions jackpot is more than $500 million. Imagine what you could do with this life-changing amount of money. A new car? Dream vacation? The possibilities are endless, but the clock is ticking. Drawings are every Tuesday and Friday, so don't wait. Get a Mega Millions ticket today at your favorite lottery retailer. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanAR.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
I'm not worried about anything. It's just that you are playing to hold your seat, to improve your seat. That's what you're doing.
This is the Morning Rush.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and backed by a comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin.
As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes. Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
Metal Mart offers high-quality prefabricated metal buildings, metal roofing, custom trim shop, carports, and more. They strive to be a company where contractors as well as do-it-yourselfers are welcome. Metal Mart assists you in calculating the materials needed to complete your project, all at a rate you can afford. Stop by 7320 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith or call 648-3342. You can also catch them online at metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression? You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more.
Call Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747 or check them out online at pittmantrt.com. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at goforsgren.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Gage Wood, no hits him. Allen has a wide open man. It's Childs. He's loose. He scores. Childs, please.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
ARKNSAS. This is your Hog update on the Morning Rush.
Go Hog.
The guards, man, he coached too many of them. I couldn't pass up on it. It started that spring, 2023. I think session 1. I remember the first time I talked to him. we played Indy Heat like the last game of session 1, and then like he called the owner of my AAU team, Speedy Walker. I don't know if you know about him, but Speedy Walker. He called him like, I need your guy. So I talked to him at home. And he was just like, hey, you're my type of player and all that. And it was when I hung up the phone, it was crazy. I told my dad, like, yo, we just talked to Coach Cal. Like, it's crazy. Just all the guards he coached. I wanted to be a part of it. So I had that mindset early. Like, I want to play for Coach Cal.
That's Darius Acuff on his initial conversation with John Calipari and just the setup that led to him not only committing, signing, and playing here at Arkansas. I'd say it's what's the old phrase, a match made in heaven? I'd say that's pretty spot on when it comes to Darius Acuff and John Calipari, Tommy.
Yeah, and I just think it's interesting and listening to him talk and some of the sound bites we've played. Where Acuff and where he's at and wanting to play the other night, and where can this go over the next 2 or 3 games in Nashville? Is the Alabama game more important than winning the title? I mean, there's so many things I'm thinking about going into this week, and what do they really want to accomplish? I don't know that winning that SEC title is the most important thing. I think beating Alabama might be more important than winning that thing on Sunday.
I know we got to get through this Hog update, but here's what I would say. The feasible thing is beating Alabama. The feasible thing is winning the SEC championship if the Florida Gators are not on the other side of you. I just don't see a scenario that any team outside of Florida winning that thing. I think they can beat Alabama Saturday at 2:30 or 2:45 whenever that game's going to tip off. I don't know if I necessarily feel the same way about them beating Florida. And I do think, again, let's see. Darius talked about that.
Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully. Of course, everybody want that. But, if it works out that way, it works out. Of course, you want to see them again. All the teams you lost to, even non-conference, you want to see them like in the tournament, in the big tournament.
And the flip side of that is the 3 teams you're playing Friday night. You beat Oklahoma, you beat A&M, and you beat South Carolina. So they also want to pay you back a little bit too. It's how sports work. But yeah, I do think there's a little extra energy around the Crimson Tide. And really, there has been. Tommy, think about this. It's like I don't think Alabama's traditional Arkansas basketball rival, and Kentucky's always going to be in Kentucky or Texas. Pick your poison there. But you could make a case the last 6 years. I think Oates has been there 5 or 6 years, Colton. That might be the team you might want to beat the most each year, depending on whichever player's on it.
Yeah, maybe, perhaps, and does Florida want to continue their win streak? Florida hadn't lost in a while. I think their last loss was to Auburn. At home?
I think that was late January, if I remember that right.
I mean, the pressure of a long winning streak sometimes needs to be relieved before you go on the most important win streak of all, and that's the NCAA tournament.
Well, we'll be happy to relieve them at 12 o'clock on Sunday if it comes down to it. All right, that is your Hall.
I bet you there's Florida fans that would agree with what I just said.
Well, and then that would boost you to at least a 4 seed, if not a 3. I think they'd probably still a 4, but
4.
You win the SEC championship, you'd no longer be a 5.
Yeah. All right, that is your Hog Update this morning. It is brought to you by APAC and Standard Materials Group, your number one source for top-quality aggregates, rock, gravel, sand, also ready-mix concrete at your job site. Whether your job's a big one, you need hundreds of yards, or you have a small project and you just need maybe one load brought out with 3, 4, 5 yards. They can handle that at APAC and Standard Materials Group. 479-587-3300 is your number. That's 587-3300. The number one place is APAC and Standard Materials Group.
Let's go to Bismarck, home of the Lions, and talk to Deb, who's got a beef this morning. Deb, go ahead.
Okay, my beef is you don't talk about the OKC Thunder. They have a player who's a former Cal player who just tied Wilt Chamberlain's records for consecutive games of 20 points or more. So the Thunder has 2 Arkansas guys, Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe, who are just knocking it dead. And I love OKC, and I wish you would talk more about them and their accomplishments.
We just talked about Jalen yesterday.
Yeah, Jalen had 29. He hit 7 threes. Isaiah hit 1 at the end of half. You're talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander there. Bam Adebayo scores 83 last night. The Thunder have definitely gotten some more pop, Deb, since since not only two Northside Grizzlies and Razorbacks are on the team, but obviously they picked it up here in these last few years.
Yeah, Jalen Williams is one of my favorites, and he's really killing it right now. So anyway, I didn't hear it yesterday. I wasn't listening to you yesterday, but I just love the Thunder, and I just wanted to know about SGA and if you knew that he had tied the record.
Oh, yeah. He's been dominant. Deb, appreciate the call. Cal's got so many guys, you lose track of them. And Arkansas, really, with AB, Bobby Portis, and those two guys we just mentioned, they've got a pretty good track record in the NBA, too.
And he'd missed a number of games there with some injuries, too. So, all right, What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richards Country Meat Market, 479-443. 0000 is the number for Richards. Whether it's steaks, fish, as we mentioned earlier, crawfish season, sides for your next get-together, or just a simple, quick dinner tonight, they've got it at Richards Country Meat Market. 443-0000 or order online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
So Colton's got a point of contention with the Bam Adebayo game last night that we can get into. But coming up, it's our Morning Rush Daily Question. We continue on What's Your Beef Wednesday here on ESPN Arkansas. Next.
The University of Arkansas and Nolan Richardson's team. There'll be no one in the 64 looking forward to a matchup against this young group.
The Hogs are on the road in Nashville looking to bring back an SEC championship for the first time since 2000. ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com are along for the ride, keeping you informed on Cal and the team. Exclusive coverage from the Music City is brought to you by Sutherland's. Our exclusive coverage of the SEC tournament in Nashville is also provided by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery and by Ozark Orthopedics.
You don't just maintain your land, you master it. And at Sutherland's, we've got the steel to help you do it. Experience the brute force of a bad boy mower. These mowers turn a weekend chore into a victory lap. But every great machine needs a home. Our Sutherland's custom barns are built to last. Call 1-800-66-BARNS. Sutherland's with 4 stores in Arkansas, Fort Smith, Huntsville, Hot Springs, and Stuttgart, and online at Sutherlands.com. No matter the project, we're here to help because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
Hey, Arkansas, got your ticket? The Mega Millions jackpot is more than $500 million. Imagine what you could do with this life-changing amount of money. A new car? Dream vacation? The possibilities are endless, but the clock is ticking. Drawings are every Tuesday and Friday, so don't wait. Get a Mega Millions ticket today at your favorite lottery retailer. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
We have no intention of holding them out, but we got 2 days of practice. Something happens.
This is the Morning Rush.
Basketballs bounce, cheerleaders cheer, and fans are flocking to the paint store in Van Buren. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their color matching. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their help with color selection. The paint store in Van Buren shares their expert advice from 35 years of experience. If you haven't been to the paint store in Van Buren, you are missing out. How about you give them a shout next time you need some real-life help you can't get on YouTube.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Hi, this is Mike Threlka with Cedarview IT Solutions in Northwest Arkansas. I've been in the IT business for 25 years. I can help you with servers, networking, workstations, Wi-Fi, custom databases, and more. I can save you money over your current IT provider. For examples and other information, please visit my website at cedarviewit.com. That's cedarviewit.com, or you can call me at 479-601-2606. Cedarview IT Solutions. Your problems whimper at my solutions.
I have people skills.
Dad, the driver looks dirty. You yucky, Daddy.
Hey, don't worry, boys. That's what we do best. At My Dreams Mo Wash, we make homes, businesses, and even big industrial spaces shine like new.
So you can clean houses and big buildings?
That's right. Residential, commercial, or industrial. No job's too big or too small. Call My Dreams Mo Wash today at 479-763-5561 or visit mjmowash.com.
My Junior's Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Hi, this is Philip Carr. After a long winter nap, the legendary Shangri-La Resort on Lake Ouachita is waking back up. The coffee is hot, the cabins are cozy, and yes, those famous homemade pies are back in the oven. Whether you're here for a world-class fishing or just a quiet slice of paradise, we've missed you. Visit Shangri-La Resort, AR.net to plan your February getaway or give us a call at 870-867-2011. Shangri-La Resort in beautiful Midata, Arkansas. A touch of paradise and a boatload of fun.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3. Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's place in Lowell online at carpathsocial.com.
How long you want to stay in Nashville? I'm not talking Ty wanting to go to the parties and do very little work. Probably not even go to the games. Just wander up and down Broadway in a drunken stupor. But how many games you want to play? Because we talk about how Alabama might be the one you really want, but you got to beat them, which that means you got to play the third game. Well, if you're going to play it, you might as well win it, even though it's Florida who just crushed you, 111-77. Is that the goal? If you were out on Friday, if I don't know, probably played A&M or OU, if one of them beat you, would you be okay with that? I mean, kind of what's your feeling on what you need to accomplish in Nashville?
I think you'd love to get to Sunday. I think you'd love to pay back Alabama. And think about it from this perspective. So Alabama's right above you right now in the seed lines and bracketology and whatnot. The last thing a committee member would see before deciding who's going where in the NCAA tournament was you beating them on a neutral floor. Not a 2-point loss in double overtime on the road in Tuscaloosa. You beat them. You paid them back on a neutral floor. Now, if you can win the championship game, obviously you're taking because you're there on Sunday. But I think, you try to get to Sunday and try to win the whole thing. I mean, Arkansas's only won one of these things. And the end goal, as we've talked about, is getting to Indianapolis first week in April. But I think that Arkansas could benefit being that you're not starting on Wednesday like Kentucky or Thursday like A&M. You start on Friday. You're not 4 games in. You're not 5 games in. You could be 3 games in. So I'd say Sunday.
And it's the last time you got to play back-to-back days this season. So Florida's number 4 in the net ranking. Vanderbilt is 16. Alabama's 17. And Arkansas's 18.
Yes.
Now, some things may change throughout, this week as other conference tournaments being played. I don't think there'll be a lot of movement. I think win or lose, not going to be a ton of movement in the net ranking. I think outside of winning this whole thing and beating Florida, you're a 5 seed. I don't even think a 3 seed's in play. I don't know if winning a game there is going to move you off the 5. No. So I don't think you have anything to lose over there other than getting one of your guys injured, and they're all key at this point. There is no injury to a non-key player.
Yeah.
In a game. So I wrestle with this because they've had some decent rest from the game against Missouri up until Friday night. That's a long time to get ready. Does rust set in at some point? I don't know. I'd like to see him go over there and play in 3 because that means you beat Alabama most likely.
Go ahead, Colin.
I was going to say that I don't think it matters at all. I'm kind of on the negative side of this. I could care less about the SEC tournament, whatever their team's goals are, whatever the fans want. That doesn't really matter. The most important thing is the NCAA tournament. Like you said, Tommy, they're not going to fall off of the 5 or the 4 seed line. They're going to end up for the national tournament, which is more important than the SEC tournament. Yeah. I know these guys have worked hard for this. I know that they have a legitimate shot outside of, maybe Florida matching up against them. But really, to be honest with you, if at the end of the year or next season we're hanging up an SEC conference tournament championship banner as opposed to a Final Four one or an Elite Eight one, you might as well just use it for tissues.
Yeah, from your let's set up the scenarios. All right, so let's say you get bounced on Friday night, and then you go to a Sweet 16 or Elite Eight, or on the other door is you win the whole thing, and then you get bounced in around a 64-32. You're taking door number 1 every time. Anyone that says otherwise is either dumb or it's just that's what postseason. It's not when we say postseason. There's 2. There's conference tournaments and then there's the actual postseason that matters. And it's just like it is in the SEC baseball tournament. Football's a little different because an SEC championship I still think means something, even though it's been diluted a little bit. But I get your perspective on that. I just think the reason I say that in my head is because I do believe that there would be some weight if Arkansas won 4 straight games, Texas, Missouri, you beat whoever Friday night, and then you beat Alabama, who's basically neck and neck above you right now. They're slightly above you. I just think that could get you on a 4 line. That's where my head is at. But I get your 2 perspectives.
I think 4's the ceiling and 5's the floor. So
how much different are those 2 seeds? How much different are those 2 seeds?
Well, depending on who you listen to. Ty thinks the 5 seed's instant death.
Statistically, that's true. Statistically, that has happened more often than not.
Listen,
history, not prophecy.
That's fine. But you're a smart guy. But when it is consistent year in, year out that 12 seeds beat 5 seeds, and there's
not all 4 of them. Yes, there's usually 1, maybe 2.
I know that.
Not all 4.
But when it's a lot less of a percentage, 4 versus 13, math tells you, better teams end up on the 12 line than they would be 13, leading it to be a harder game, leading it to be a more difficult challenge for the Razorbacks. I want this team to win. That's my perspective on this. I feel like that's not a crazy argument to have on.
No, but I just think it's superstitious, and I'm not a big guy that believes, hey, I'm going to play better if I put my left sock on first and my right sock on second. I'm just, those are things you do to psych yourself out and I guess create some false confidence. But I don't think if Arkansas is the 4 or the 5, you're assuming the committee's going to get the seeding of the 11 or the 12 right. That's what you're assuming. That they don't mess up and put someone on the 12 line that really belonged on the 10 line. Or flip that. So a number by your name is just an opinion of a committee. And you're relying on the committee to get that right. And I think they got more metrics for basketball than they do any other sport because you play more games. So I think it's easier to get it right in basketball because you got more data.
Yeah. All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Great place so you can watch the SEC tournament this weekend, Arkansas baseball, the NCAA tournament next weekend. They've got 10 TVs. They've got 4 bays. It's always BYOB. You can host events there. Christian and Nate would love to have your team at Cart Pass Social or your friends socializing, whatever. They'll have it at Cart Pass Social. CartPassSocial.com, the #1 indoor golf facility in Arkansas. Masters Invitational going on. Take advantage. Play Augusta National 4 straight weeks and get your chance to win the personal green jacket from Cart Pass Social. That's always BYOB at Cart Pass Social. So Colton asked that we could discuss the Bam Adebayo game from last night.
Okay.
2 points. Mama, we feel your joy. The second highest scoring game in NBA history, second only to Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game in Hershey, Pennsylvania against the New York Knicks when he was playing for Philadelphia.
He ended up scoring 83, and they were like, the Wizards were triple teaming Bam Adebayo, who played for Cal in 2017 last night. It was kind of funny to watch. Statistically, I had this down somewhere. What did he end up? He was less than 50%. Where is this stat I have out? Missed a lot of free throws, and it's just weird seeing Bam Adebayo's name between Wilt Chamberlain and Kobe Bryant. But I guess there's anomalies in NBA scorebooks every once in a while. What were you angry about in this, Colton?
I'm not angry. First of all, I want everybody to know that you need to find Wilt Chamberlain's game tape of him scoring 100 points, because in my opinion, it absolutely never happened. So now the benchmark for always in the NBA is Bam Adebayo getting out there and shooting 40-something free throws against the Wizards.
43. He's 26 of 43.
43 free throws. He shot 23-point attempts, dang near, I'm pretty sure.
22. 7 of 22.
They're playing the Wizards. The team was fouling the Wizards up 25 points to go intentionally so they could get Bam the ball back to try and break the record. This is a stain on the NBA, in my opinion, and it's great. I don't want to take anything away from Bam having an awesome night. And by all means, he is a very good player. He's a very charitable player. He's done a lot giving back to the community in Miami. Bam is a good player, and I'm happy for him.
He's a Cal guy, too. You're going at Cal.
Stop. I do not think Wilt Chamberlain ever scored 100 points because I've never seen a videotape of it. It's an absolute tall tale. It's like Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox. It absolutely never happened, but it does make you feel good to think about it. I believe him saying he bedded 10,000 women more so than I think him scoring 100 points that night. So now this is the benchmark. It's 83 points by Bam out there flopping around. The game is so easy. They just let offensive players do whatever they want. This is not a good thing for the NBA. Happy for Bam. This is awesome. It's on a random Tuesday night in March that it happened. That's great. But, I mean, let's think about it. Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe Bryant, and sandwiched in the middle of those is Bam Adebayo.
Gavin and Fayetteville saying
something's wrong.
Bam
One of these things doesn't belong.
Yeah, Bam took more shots than the rest of the team combined. He shot less than 40%. And so while it's great accomplishments, it's not better than Kobe's. I don't remember what Kobe Bryant's percentage was against the Raptors that day. But still to score 80+ in an NBA game is unbelievable. Tommy, you got any thoughts on this?
I think sometimes it's your night. The hoop looks big, but I think at the same time when you start chasing one of these records, your teammates got to be on board too with you and just keep feeding you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but you think Wilt's didn't back then? I mean, it's a great record, and somebody's going to take down Wilt's 100 points. Somebody's going to have one of them nights, and the team's going to rally around it, want to be a part of it.
And there will be actual physical documentation that it actually happened. There won't be a whole cover-up happening over.
What about
years
he's holding up 100? He's holding up the 100.
Every single person. Look, everybody that thought that actually happened, the wool has been pulled over your eyes for years. I'm sorry to all the boomers out there that think that actually happened, but it never did.
I think the 100 was real. I think the 100's real. I don't think the 10,000's real. The math doesn't work on that.
I guarantee you the 10,000 is probably real.
It's just the math doesn't work on that.
Look, they have video footage of games happening that season before that night, after that night, games happening before that season. Why don't you coincidentally have the one where the guy had the record of all time in the NBA?
Yeah.
Fishy.
If 10,000's true, that's the record of all time in humanity.
I believe that more so. That seems more feasible, in my opinion.
I don't know. I've run the math on that. I don't think it is feasible.
I think it is.
Jesse says he absolutely scored more than 100 points in a game. He's 2 feet taller than everyone on the court.
That doesn't matter. Where's the documentation? I understand that the NBA wrote it down on a little parchment piece of paper back in the day, and it's been saved for years.
1961 or 62?
They had video cameras back then. They had footage. They had photography.
Was he on the Warriors or 76ers then?
The Philadelphia Warriors.
Because he wasn't on the Lakers, I don't think.
Yeah. Anyway,
never happened.
Hey, spring break's here, Ty, and that means you need a comfortable ride, and you also need to make sure the ride you've got is ready to go on the road. Rath Auto Resources, both sides of the tunnel, can make sure you are Rath Road ready, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. David, I know, is really excited about the 2025 models, 0% for 72 months going on right now at Rath Mitsubishi. And those road-ready certified vehicles, they're stocked up right now at Rath Auto Resources. Meineke Car Care Center, both locations, especially in Fort Smith, though. I know they've been really really humming and going there. And I like the itinerary that they send you. Hey, this is what we did here. This is what we did there. They send you a comprehensive checklist on your phone after your visit at the Meineke Car Care Center. Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Hour 2 is next.
Hey, Arkansas, got your ticket? The Mega Millions jackpot is more than $500 million. Imagine what you could do with this life-changing amount of money. A new car? Dream vacation? The possibilities are endless, but the clock is ticking. Drawings are every Tuesday and Friday, so don't wait. Get a Mega Millions ticket today at your favorite lottery retailer. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fifth Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Listen up, crappie anglers. When it comes to crappie fishing, there's only one baby shad. The original baby shad, crappie fishing's #1 selling bait. Featuring a sleek back, streamlined belly, and quivering tail, that bait just won't stop moving, no matter the temps, no matter the conditions. Built for dead sticking and action-based techniques also, the original baby shad gets right to the point, catching slabs and filling freezers. Bobby Garland Crappie Baits, the leader in crappie fishing innovation.
Few things in life are more important than showing up. Whether you show up for your family, friends, or teammates, it doesn't hurt to bring a plate of their favorite beef dish. Together, we bring more. Find your next crowd pleaser at beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, courtesy of beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Tom Murphy is brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
This is the Morning Rush.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and backed by a comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Taco Bell's new Lutz Value Menu has 10 extravagant indulgences, all $3 or less. As their official Lutzierge, I get a lot of questions about it from people who let the Lutz go to their heads. Like the ones who get the new mini taco salad in its crispy tortilla shell bowl and want to know if they should be eating it with a mini taco salad fork. Which, no. Just use the fork that comes in the bag. Don't let the Lutz go to your head. Try Taco Bell's new $3 or less Lutz Value Menu today. At participating Taco Bell stores while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Not a member? Just sign up at Mentor's Lumber Ace Hardware to start saving right at the register. Right now, save $30 on select DeWalt 20-volt max tools or $20 on select Ego outdoor power equipment after instant savings with your Ace Rewards card. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time. Up to $11,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $11,000 off. Or take 5.9% financing for up to 84 months. Lease the all-new 2026 GMC Canyon for as low as $399 a month with approved credit. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, a cold front will be moving through the area, bringing showers and thunderstorms. Temperatures will fall into the upper 50s across the northern areas, while temperatures to the south will stay in the lower 70s. Evening rain showers, then decreasing clouds tonight, with lows in the mid to upper 30s. I'm Matthew Harding with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by COP CDL Academy. Want a life-changing career? Give them a call today at 479-632-1050 or check them out online at copcdlacademy.com.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3. ERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Michelob Ultra.
You could drink beer.
The superior light beer for the social athlete.
I just woke up from the worst nightmare I've ever had in my entire life. I fell asleep in my chair. I dreamed that we ran off our Hall of Fame coach and we ended up with a coach with no resume. And just 2 years later, I dreamed that we actually played on Wednesday in the SEC tournament in the first game. I mean, what a nightmare, right? I mean, that's never happened before. I also dreamed that the coach we ran off didn't play until the last game of the tournament and had a double bye. I mean, could you all imagine? I mean, I don't know why I dreamed that. I mean, I woke up in a cold sweat. It was like everybody was complaining and running off a guy who'd won a national championship, was in the Hall of Fame, 4 Final Fours, 3 other Elite Eights, over 400 wins at Kentucky, all-time winningest coach at Rupp. And we ended up with some guy that, I don't know. He's never even won a tournament game, never won anything of any kind. And I dreamed we was playing on Wednesday of the SEC tournament. I mean, how stupid a dream.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, produced by Colton Little.
With Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
This is the Morning Rush.
So that was a Kentucky fan, obviously disappointed in his team's regular season, where for the first time ever they're playing today against the LSU Tigers in the SEC tournament. I think it's the first game.
Early game,
first
too.
game.
That's even worse.
11:30 here in about an hour and a half from now on the SEC Network. Mississippi State against Auburn, Ole Miss against Texas, and South Carolina against Oklahoma, which will be the next to last potential opponent that you'll have. Depending on how that game goes, South Carolina or Oklahoma win, they'll play Texas A&M tomorrow night, and then they will face off against the Arkansas Razorbacks on Friday night. It's fun to revel in other fans' misery, Tommy, especially when they're your arch rival.
Yeah, so that doesn't break my heart to hear a Kentucky fan wallowing in their decision, and I think they regret in many ways getting rid of Cal and hate seeing his success at Arkansas, and I love it.
It would be
absolutely.
It would be solidified with the first round exit and Arkansas having another deep tournament one. They were kind of on the same pedestal last year while Arkansas went to Lexington and got that game, the revenge game. They both ended in the Sweet 16. It sure would be nice to see Arkansas advance farther than Kentucky in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. All right, What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market, our place to go when you need some. Hey, corned beef might be on your menu for next week. They can fix you up with that. With St. Patrick's Day here, Richard's has everything you need: corned beef, bangers, soda bread, beer bread, and their famous Irish stout cake. And yes, they've even got St. Patrick's Day T-shirts while they last as well. And don't forget crawfish season's here. If you're planning on a crawfish boil or stocking up just for a weekend, Richards has fresh seafood, premium sausage, and all the fixins to get you ready to go. 479-443-0000 or stop by just east of College and Rolling Hills Drive in Fayetteville. That's Richards Country Meat Market, your St. Patty's and crawfish headquarters.
We have no intention of holding them out. But we got 2 days of practice. Something happens. But the whole plan was give them some time, let them be closer to 100%. Let's go.
I was thinking about when Cal said that yesterday is Darius didn't look like he was that hobbled or gimpy in the Texas game when you went back and watched. There might have been a moment or two, but you could tell it was a little more pronounced in the games leading up to that. So if he was able to do that, in basically the game was the second half against Auburn that happened, and he's accomplished what he has since that point. What is he going to be in an even healthier situation? Yeah. Like what could he be starting Friday night? And if they advance to Saturday in that revenge game against likely Alabama and in the NCAA tournament, what could his ceiling look like? He's all over the place. He could give you 28 and 13. He could give you 49. I'm just excited to see what else we could watch from Darius Acuff, hopefully these next few weeks.
Well, it's going to be fun. We need to enjoy it. Don't miss a game, and I know none of you will, but you're down to – you'd love it to be 9 games. That means you played in the national championship. But even if you go all the way, you've got less than 10 games to enjoy this guy as a Razorback. And then we'll probably all watch the NBA draft closer than we have in several years. And watch it early because that will be the conversation once the season's done is how high is this guy potentially going to go in the NBA draft? And that's all great news for this program.
And help me on this. Was Sidney Moncrief drafted at 4 to the Bucks?
Believe
is that
is
the highest
right.
ever?
We looked this up and talked about. I believe that's correct.
Yeah, because we also found out that 4 Razorbacks were on the same team at one point. I think it was the Suns, but I believe that's right. And so could Darius up into that top 3? Could he be the highest Razorback ever drafted?
Moncrief was 5th overall.
5th. Okay. Is that the highest? AB, I think, was 6 to the Magic.
That is the highest.
Okay. Yeah. Moses went in the lottery to the Warriors at 13, just kind of recent guys. So maybe Darius at least ties Sidney Moncrief
potentially
and does that. As far as
when do they have the draft lottery?
Is it in April, right, Colton?
When do we start freezing envelopes?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They do it's the balls now, right? That is still
usually around the time they start the playoffs. It's in the playoffs because they'll normally do it between games.
Okay,
that's the lottery.
Yes.
Okay, there you go. If we only had a machine where you could type in the question you had and it'd spit out an answer, they ought to come up with something like that. Maybe call it like Google or I don't know. Come up with some weird name like that.
Do something like that.
Something like that.
Okay. All right, let's talk to our buddy Richard Davenport here this morning.
That sounds good.
Richard Davenport on the Morning Rush is brought to you by House of Webster and Rogers.
I say I'm trying to watch what I eat. Well, I cheated the other night.
When it comes to flavor, nobody does it better than House of Webster.
That's what makes them different than others. They have so many different flavors.
Locally made jams, jellies, salsas, and sauces for over 90 years.
Surely you're going to find one that you really, really like, or you're going to like them all.
All right, RD, we'll just kind of go right into that Darius Acuff conversation with you. Get a chance to, it sounds like we're going to watch him on Friday and hopefully the rest of the weekend. Is it like kind of a sense of, man, this is it? Are you just holding on? What does the feeling get a chance to watch this kid these next few games, his final games as an Arkansas Razorback?
It's exciting but sad at the same time, knowing that exactly. You know that his time is limited in Fayetteville, and we've all enjoyed watching him and just being amazed at his talent. And seeing something historic at Arkansas as far as the freshman season and something historic on the SEC level. It's exciting to know he's still got a few more games, but it's pretty limited, and we're all gonna miss him.
What's your feeling on Arkansas this weekend and kind of the setup of where they're at Friday night, the potential road to get to Sunday in the SEC championship? What's your feeling on the Hogs this week, RD?
You know, if you look at past success, you're not that optimistic, right? Only one SEC tournament win. I mean, a championship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're capable, but at the same time, I mean, history tells you that Arkansas does, may make a run, may get in the championship game and not be able to close. I think Florida right now is clearly the best team in the SEC. Arkansas is second best, and in my opinion. I mean, I think you got about 2 or 3 teams that are right below Florida, but hey, a neutral floor, maybe they could take Florida, but I don't know.
Yeah. What does everything that we're now, the accolades, the SEC Player of the Year and the AP and coaches, the more that may come in the next few weeks for Darius Acuff. What are those? What's the value to those to Cal and this staff and to the school on the recruiting trail, both in the portal and trying to get the next group of 5 stars a year from now into this program? What does the awards that Acuff just picked up? What does that do for their message, and what dividends do you think that will pay?
I mean, let's face it, Coach Cal's got a heck of a message to sell anybody just without Acuff. And then you throw in the most recent superstar that he's produced in Acuff. I mean, it just kind of reassures, what he's done in the past. And kids talk about, how he sends guys to the league. Well, and now you got another guy that's getting all these awards and it's going to be a lottery pick, and it's a fresher version of what Cal's done all these years. It's right now, and you can always sell the past, but being able to sell right now is even more impressive to me.
Yeah, I think it just tells any great player around the country you can come to Arkansas and maximize your potential. There should be no fear about coming to, Arkansas is a name brand in college basketball, and Cal may be the biggest name brand, and that's the sell. But those two do connect. You don't have to go to Duke. You don't have to go to North Carolina. You don't have to go to Michigan to have a Player of the Year type of year. And we'll see how Darius fares in the big National Player of the Year awards, the All-American list, but Arkansas is not going to set you back, I think, is the message that we should take out of that. Even with Cal at the helm, coming to Arkansas, playing in this league, it won't set you back on what you can do.
Well, Cal, hey, I'm the same coach, just a different location. That's what he showed when he first got to Arkansas, to the 5-star, 4-star guys. I'm going to do the same thing that I did at Kentucky or Memphis or UMass. I'm going to do the same thing at Arkansas that I've done in the past. It's just a different location. So I don't think, obviously Arkansas is not Kentucky, but it's still a very well-known program. And you look at it's easy for kids to associate big-time basketball with Arkansas if they just watch a few games and see the crowds and how much support Arkansas gets. So I don't think it's that tough of a sell, but it's definitely not tough when you're Calipari.
Yeah. Talking with Richard Davenport here on the Morning Rush. Thanks to our friends at House of Webster. You can read Richard's work on Whole Hog Sports and at the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. RD, Tommy's in Richmond. I'm heading to Nashville, so we're missing Coach Silverfield's luncheon day. Are you making your way to that?
Yeah, I'm going to be leaving a little after 11 o'clock to head down.
All right, so spring practice starts Sunday. I know it's going to be overshadowed. You got opening weekend, SEC baseball here at Baum Walker, basketball teams in Nashville. Maybe some things you're interested in just kind of hearing from him and his staff leading into this weekend.
Well, I think the number one thing is just finding the quarterback, finding the go-to quarterback. He's already said that he thinks that this would go into fall camp. Maybe somebody does separate themselves during the spring, and he's mentioned that that's a possibility, but he thinks it's going to go into fall camp. But we'll see what happens there. I mean, and the coach has been able to see the guys work out and things of that nature, but being able to see what they can do with pads and stuff like that also will create some separation, and it's going to be a filling out situation for both sides, the players and the coaches. I mean, they're still getting to know one another. So I think everybody starts with a fresh start. I mean, fresh slate, and I think that's encouraging for some of the returning guys and some of and obviously the portal guys. I think everybody looks at it as, hey, I got an opportunity. All I got to do is make some plays and flash at practice, and maybe I can get that starting role.
What do you think his pitch is to the common fan? My brother just texted me this morning. He renewed his pledge at the Razorback Foundation and season tickets. Wasn't necessarily the most optimistic, but if you're Coach Silverfield, what is your pitch to the fans and potential season ticket holders and people that want to renew? It's like, hey, this is why you should pay the money to come watch our football team this year.
I think he's already done that a little bit, talking about being a more disciplined team, fewer penalties, fewer turnovers, and just overall discipline in the program. Let's face it, we've seen it the last couple of years with the team. So many times they've lost, close games because of lack of discipline with ball security, penalties, different things that all add up to wins or losses. And most of the time, Arkansas ended up with the losses. And I think he's preaching that there's going to be accountability in all areas, and I think fans sense that and know that how close the program has been the last few years. But in order to get over the hump, you have to be more disciplined in all areas as a football team, and I think fans gravitate towards that because they believe that has been the issue the last few years.
Yeah. Richard Davenport with us here on the Morning Rush, brought to you by the House of Webster. Talking about football and the luncheon today, I still think the fan base and probably a lot of future recruits are trying to still figure out who Ryan Silverfield is. I think this is a really good idea to have this luncheon, get to know him a little more on a personal level before we start seeing these practices. I think he's still battling lack of familiarity a lot, even within our own state. They know the name, but they don't really know the guy.
No, I agree with you 100%. It's still a filling out process for everybody involved. I mean, even the media. I've talked to Bray Cook, who was on a staff at Memphis, who knows him very well. Travis Swanson, who obviously was with the Detroit Lions when Silverfield was on that staff, and got some insight about Silverfield. But we're all still in the process of learning. And I think it's just pretty much norm for a new coach. I mean, unless even if he's a high profile coach like Coach Bielema, we were still learning about him the first few years and so what makes him tick and some of the things that his philosophies. So it is an ongoing process, and it will be not only this year, but will be next year, probably year 2 or 3 before we really have a good idea of who he is and what he's all about.
Richard, last thing before we let you go. Listen to Cal talk yesterday, kind of in the middle of his press conference about buyouts and saying, well, maybe these coaches, instead of spending all the money on buyouts, you should invest it in NIL. Do you think with the revamped structure in college sports that we're going to see like longer longer runways for coaches in a sense of, well, hey, why not just invest this money we were going to pay to get rid of him and give him an opportunity with NIL? Could you see a scenario like that?
Yeah, I could see that, especially with more established coaches, because they've already made their money over the years. Maybe some, but at the same time, I mean, if it becomes something that a lot more coaches and schools are doing, that puts pressure on every coach to keep up with the Joneses. So when you asked me that, I was kind of leaning towards one direction, and then it comes back to you schools usually follow what other schools are doing, especially if it's working, and if it's something that some schools start to do, and you see a little bit more of a track record of success, other schools are obviously going to start doing it too.
They're going to follow suit. Well, Richard joins us every single Wednesday. Thanks to our friends at House of Webster. Now, Tommy criticized me, and unfairly so, for hoarding the dill pickle salsa. Have you received your dill pickle salsa?
I have, and
what do we think?
I've been meaning to text you. I really enjoyed it. It had that dill pickle taste, but it wasn't overly strong. But it was enough to know it was there, and the amount of different salsas that they have, and all their products. They have so many different ones. But the different salsas are kind of unique. I mean, you see in grocery stores, a brand have 2 or 3 different salsas. Oh my gosh! I mean, House of Webster's has so many more. And get on their website, take a look at it, and you'll see so many different types that you wouldn't even think that it is possible. But they have them, and they're all good. I haven't had one though I'm going, I don't really like that. All of them are really good, and some I like even better than others.
Yeah, you're a fan of the Carolina Reaper like I am. Tommy, did you have a comment on the dill pickle salsa?
I like it. If you like pickles, you'll like it. If you're not a pickle fan, it's probably not for you. But I could eat pickles with every meal. I love pickles. So I love the salsa. So
houseofwebster.com. That's the website Richard's referencing. Or stop in. You get a free gift. Just say the RD favorite, the Richard special, Morning Rush, ESPN Arkansas. They'll take it all. 1013 North 2nd Street in Rogers. That's House of Webster. They've been doing it. Tommy, you were just at Congressman Womack's office, and he had some House of Webster stuff in there.
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to meet with him and his staff last week. And as you walk into his office, he's got a display of some of the great things in Northwest Arkansas, and House of Webster is prominently displayed. And they said Congressman Womack also gives those as gifts to staff and other members of Congress, and they all rave about House of Webster in Washington, D.C.
Houseofwebster.com. So, RD, appreciate you always hopping on with us, buddy.
See you guys.
All right, that's Richard Davenport, Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Tommy, I'm going to redirect that same question I asked him with the NIL stuff. I mean, Cal is. I'll just play the clip so everyone can hear it. Cal discussing again this yesterday on when it comes to coaches and maybe redistributing the money somewhere else.
I'm glad we're doing this so I can say it. All these administrations that are talking about changing coaches, well, whatever you're going to invest to change the coach, why don't you invest it in NIL and let?
Does that make sense?
Well, if you believe in the coach, if I didn't believe in the coach, why would I give him money?
That's a fair point.
I mean, if I don't believe the coach could get the job done with the money I'd give, I'm not giving him the money.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the power play that the boosters always have. I mean, at Arkansas, that's not a problem. No one's going to not give money because they don't like Cal, they don't believe in Cal. But there's a lot of places where, hey, if there's a different guy in charge, and I think our football program is a prime example of, hey, there's people willing to give if we have a new leader. And we've seen that to at least a limited degree. You know what fixes all that money-giving problem? Winning. Just go win. And but I don't think a lot of people will write checks if they don't believe in the guy at the head of the table.
Well, hopefully it's not necessarily going to happen at this luncheon today, and you sure got some opportunities. I know we're it's March the 11th right now, but first 3 weeks of September, weeks 2 and 3, you're going to Salt Lake, and then Old George is coming to town. So hopefully there'll be some reasons for optimism with the football team early on the upcoming season.
So, hey, I'm excited about this journey I've been on with Beachy Aesthetics and Wellness. We partnered with them here on the Morning Rush a few months back, and I really didn't know anything about peptides until I went to Beachy Aesthetics and Wellness, and I've heard people talking about it and the different ones they're on and what it does for them, and there's different ones that do different things, but I needed some help with appetite control and metabolism and weight loss, but energy as you get older, and they did a customized plan for me. They can pair together weight loss items and also peptides that help with energy and metabolism and other things to make you feel better, look better, and maybe get that extra 20 or 30 pounds off that you've been struggling with. They offer peptide therapies like Samorlin, glutathione, NAD+, and BHRT to help you feel balanced, energized, and lose that weight. They drew blood. They tested me out, said, all right, you're deficient here, you're okay here, and then customized the plan based on that. 479-343-8424 is their number. 343-8424 for Vici Aesthetics and Wellness. And if you live in Arkansas, Oklahoma, or Missouri, they can do telemedicine and do all of the visits over the phone and the internet and keep you from having to make the trip to Springdale. So even if you live out of Northwest Arkansas, they're available for you. That's Vici Aesthetics and Wellness, VICI, Vici Aesthetics and Wellness. Tell them you heard it here. Get 10% off your entire program. That'll save you a lot of money. 10% off when you mention the Morning Rush. 479-343-8424 for Vici Aesthetics and Wellness.
All right, when we return here on the Morning Rush, SEC update coming up. Plus, we'll get into more of our beefs here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. We continue on next.
Everybody's talking about Richard's Meat Market because that's my spot. And, of course, Richard and Chris have been around forever.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
I'll face with you, guys.
The player of the year, freshman of the year in this league, really difficult. It's only happened a few times in the history of the whole league.
This is the Morning Rush.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Basketballs bounce, cheerleaders cheer, and fans are flocking to the paint store in Van Buren. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their color matching. The paint store in Van Buren is known for their help with color selection. The paint store in Van Buren shares their expert advice from 35 years of experience. If you haven't been to the paint store in Van Buren, you are missing out. How about you give them a shout next time you need some real life help you can't get on YouTube?
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Winter has arrived, bringing frothy mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
This spring, you're organizing closets, decluttering drawers, and maybe even scrubbing places no one will ever look. But here's a thought. Why not declutter your internet, too? If your shows keep buffering, your games lag, or your video calls freeze, that's digital clutter, and you don't have to live with it. Switch to Wave Rural Connect Fiber for fast, reliable internet that keeps your home running clean and clear all season long. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372.
At Dobson Fiber, we're helping you build stronger connections by bringing the fastest internet network available to your business. Why fiber? Fiber internet provides reliable, symmetrical, blazing speeds. Without any interruptions or buffering, you can rely on Dobson for all your data needs. With Dobson Fiber as your premium internet provider, you can focus on the things that matter and the connections you build. To see if fiber is available to you, visit Dobson.net. Dobson Fiber, building stronger connections.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight. We're about to be tough there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally climbed the hill. It's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Like I said, our season's not even over, so I still got a lot of more things. Like as far as team, like it's time to win as a team now. It's not about, not that it ever was, but it's more about team now. It's the tournament.
Well, they won without Darius Jacob this past Saturday. Now they get him back Friday night. You'll play the winners of Oklahoma and South Carolina today, and then the winner of that game will take on Texas A&M tomorrow, and they will be heading to take on the Razorbacks. Colton just informed me, Tommy, that he picked up a AP Sporting News.
Yeah, they just put the release out at 10:27, so 3 minutes ago, that he has been named by the Sporting News a first-team All-American. College Hoops Today, Field of 68, and Bleacher Report also have him first-team All-American. Let's see. LeBaron Philon from Alabama's on the third team. Hoff from Florida's on the second team. But is it Lindenborg from Michigan? Am I saying his last name right?
That kid's a dog.
He's first team. Cameron Boozer from Duke, Joshua Jefferson from Iowa State, and that kid from BYU, AJ
DeBanza.
That
he was ticked.
I've heard it said, but when you look at it in the moment, you better know what you're talking about. DeBanza from BYU. That's your 5 on the Sporting News.
He was ticked. He didn't win Big 12 Player of the Year, and he went off yesterday. I didn't get a chance to watch that game, but he wasn't. You could tell he wasn't too happy when asked about that. So congrats again. I feel like we're just going to keep saying congrats for Darius. Hopefully it continues to, and like he said, the team accomplishment aspects as we move forward. Games today in the
by the way, he joins Corliss Williamson as the only Razorback to be named first-team All-American by the Sporting News. So we'll see if there's other lists, but short list of Razorbacks that, and Sporting News, a fairly reputable organization. Only ever been 2 Razorbacks first-team All-American on that.
That's why I'm trying to think. I mean, I don't know if they're around in the 70s when Sydney was playing, but that's wild to think that he's only the second one to be on that list.
By the Sporting News.
Yeah, just of all the great Razorbacks you've had. Mentioned it earlier, Kentucky and LSU, Mississippi State, Auburn, Ole Miss, Texas, South Carolina, and Oklahoma those are the teams you'll play today. Tommy, I'm just going to rule South Carolina out because they're not winning these next 2 games before they play you.
Yeah, I think that's
Oklahoma or Texas A&M. Who do you want to play on Friday night? Oklahoma's hot. They've won 6 of 8. A&M got pasted by in Fayetteville, but Buckyball just like to add to their resume come Friday night. Who do you want? You want Porter Moser squad or you want Bucky McMillan squad?
If you play A&M, they're going to want to run you into the floor, right? Up and down, up and down, up and down, and run your legs out. OU may be a closer game and a bigger challenge, but I think the style will make a better fight for Arkansas in a 3-game stretch. So I'm going to say OU just because I don't want 10 or 11 guys running at our 6 or 7 guys with a short bench. So I would say OU just because of the style of the game.
I like that. Colton?
I was going to say Texas A&M. I know that the style, obviously, the Texas A&M plays where they're going to be pressing you, running guys off the bench, like Tommy said, can be detrimental to the Razorbacks because of the fact that they have a shorter rotation. But to me, Oklahoma's been really hot, and it would not look quite as good if you lost to Oklahoma. That's just my personal opinion, but I think that you're going to handle any of those 2 or 3 teams that happen to be there in your first game.
So I said this earlier, and this is not like my own opinion. This is what odds are at right now. Arkansas's got the second best odds to win the whole thing. Florida's vastly ahead of anyone, but second is Arkansas. Is there a team you would think has a better chance than the Razorbacks if we're not including Florida in the discussion to win this weekend?
Alabama, yeah.
I'm saying, would you put them above Arkansas?
Well, I don't know if I'd put them up above, but I'd put them even. I mean, that game went to double overtime in their place. So, I mean, in my mind, they're at worst even. I think your question maybe be better phrase. Is there a team you think could get hot and rock the apple? You know, could a team like would Tennessee put it back together for what would be a 4-day run for them? Could Vanderbilt make a 3-day run through the tournament? Could they eliminate Florida on Saturday? You know, and talked about the possibility of getting to the finals and not seeing Florida. Could Vanderbilt accomplish that?
On Tennessee, Colton, you might know this, and I haven't looked at. Is Ament back or is he still out?
I think he's currently still out for the tournament, but I will verify.
They're outstanding freshmen.
You know, but Vanderbilt's probably got more to play for from a seeding standpoint than the Razorbacks, but not much. I don't know what's Lenardi got them at, probably a 6 or a 7 seed.
Yeah, I know they're below.
I mean, they're ahead of Arkansas in the net ranking. They're behind obviously in the seeding, but they're not going to be far behind. But they probably have more to gain out of this than Arkansas or Alabama. I think Florida, regardless, I think Florida's got a 1 seed locked up, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, even if they lost on Friday, I think there's still a really good chance that they would be a 1 seed as of 5-15
I think they'd be the
so.
last 1 seed, but I think they'd be a 1 seed. I don't think they're they're not ahead of Duke, they're not ahead of Michigan or Arizona, but I think they're the next. And the net rankings bear that out too.
Yeah. All right, that is your SEC update here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
And it is brought to you by our friends at Oaklawn. The Oaklawn Sports app is hot and happening right now. You can bet on all the March Madness games. You can find odds on Arkansas's first game in there once we get an opponent in all the SEC tournament, Big 12 tournament, ACC tournament. All of it's happening right now. New customers, if you sign up now, you get a pretty good run of 10 days here with a kind of a no sweat bet, if you will, a free second chance. They give you $1,000 in bonus bets with the folks from Oaklawn. So each of your first 10 days, if your first bet of the day doesn't work out up to $100, they'll give you a free bet and replace that as well. So it's a great time to sign up and do that. Funding and withdrawing from your account has never been easier, too. It's all with the Oaklawn Sports app. Check it out. Find it now in the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. That's the Oaklawn Sports app, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app.
So we know where Arkansas is playing this weekend, but as far as where they'll be playing next weekend, I'm going to give you the places, guys, and I want you to give me the rankings. Oklahoma City, St. Louis, Portland, Greenville, Tampa. Lenardi's currently got them projected in Tampa against Yale. Please no Ivies, NCAA Selection Committee. Philly, San Diego, and Buffalo.
Well, I mean, Oklahoma City's got to be 1,
yeah,
right?
Oklahoma City,
OKC 1, St. Louis 2.
That's best for the fans.
Okay. Where's 3 on that list?
You have to say them all again.
You went through them kind of fast.
Really fast.
Yeah,
Portland, Greenville, Tampa, Philly, San Diego, and Buffalo, where they were, I guess, in 2022.
Tampa, definitely up there.
Philly, I'm going to say Philly needs to be up there, and for two reasons.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Cal, that part of the world, recruiting, presence there, and there's a nonstop flight, I know at once a day, maybe twice a day, to Philly from XNA.
Is there really?
Yeah, there's a nonstop. I'm on it
Wow.
In April getting out. So, I mean, you can get to Philly nonstop from XNA, so I'm going to put that on the list. I don't think you can get to Tampa or some of them other places you named
easily
without a hop. So I think that'd be good for fans if you went to Philly.
I know that Tampa's, I can't remember if it's Allegiant or Breeze, but they do have one of those.
Yeah, but you're on their plan. They don't care. No flexibility.
Maybe they'll add something with the NCAA tournament depending on where Arkansas goes. But I didn't know about the XNA Philly. I wonder if
American. I'm on it in a few weeks. Headed to Scotland. We connect through Philly. So yeah.
Where do you want to go, Ty? Because you're going.
Well,
it's been decided.
The biggest.
Yes, you're not paying
nobody
for
made
it.
a choice.
See, the biggest thing. It's
Hang on, I need to listen to what Colton said. I hadn't decided which one of you two are going.
Oh, all right. So the biggest thing is like Arkansas fans.
It was full of entitlement, wasn't it, Colton?
Just expecting I wasn't even going to try.
Hold on. We can talk about this another time. The biggest issue I have, despite Arkansas's tournament runs, with the exception of Des Moines, Iowa, is fans have had to travel so far. So I've been pleading. I mean, you heard me talk about this in October last year.
Mm-hmm.
Get to OKC or St. Louis. And I can't, Tommy, I don't remember if you were on the show when we were talking about this. The NCAA selection committee has already put out a statement, or the NCAA, I should say, like with the TSA stuff and other things that are going on, like there could be issues getting flights out to certain areas or within that 12 to 72 hour span. So the thought process is, why not send them to closer places? And that's not just Arkansas related, but
you can't mess with the integrity of the event over these teams don't fly and go through TSA lines. They go private. They're not flying commercials. So let's take that that excuse or that reason that the news is blowing up off the table. That's not going to affect the team. So you can't put someone in a different pod or change their seat or because of travel concerns. That would be a complete disrespect to what is maybe the greatest sporting event in the country.
But it helps Arkansas play in Oklahoma City or St. Louis and helps fans get there. I don't really care about the integrity.
I'm for what's good for the fans.
That is good for the
you
fans.
don't care about integrity.
I don't care about the integrity if it benefits Arkansas. I've stated that many times.
Well, that means you have no integrity because it means your rules only apply if they benefit you.
When it comes to Arkansas athletics, yes. I've been very clear about that.
That's not the way life works.
Not going to shy away from that in any way, shape, or form. I don't know what's going to happen here as of Sunday, but
do you earn a closer pod with a 4 or 5 seed? Does a 5 seed earn you something in your time zone? That's really what you hope for, because if it's in your time zone, it's drivable.
Mm-hmm. If it's in your time zone, it's drivable. Yeah, that makes sense.
You drove to Des Moines, Iowa, right?
Yeah, it's a
St. Louis. You can drive it faster than you can fly it. Oklahoma City, you can't even get a flight there without going to Dallas. So if it's in your time zone, it's doable.
Is there any team that you've watched that's a lesser, and I say lesser, let's rephrase, a mid-major or an opponent that you played in conference that you want to avoid? Is there anyone that you've watched lately?
I've watched a little bit of the West Coast Conference, very little. I guess Gonzaga wrapped that up last night. St. Mary's got beat. And I watched a little bit of the MAC last night. What about this Miami of Ohio team?
Not a threat to us. I wouldn't worry about them at all.
31-0? Is it 31-0?
Yep, 31-0.
Okay.
They'll be a quick exit, I imagine, first 2 rounds.
So I remember Wichita State, and funny enough, Cal actually beat them in the round of 32. So they had won, I think when they went through the Missouri Valley, I think they'd won like 35 or 36 consecutive games. They played Cal and company in Memphis in the round of 32, and they lost. I think it's Florida's obviously a little lesser because they lost 2 games in SEC play. But when you ride that win streak into the tournament, like there's a difference between being hot and then being unbeaten in double-digit plus games. In their case, they've won 30-plus games. The pressure mounts, and they just have a talent deficit.
Yeah.
So I I always am a little like, I think because you have just one. Again, it's one bad game. It's not a best of 7. It's not a best of 5. It's best of 3. It's one game.
A bad 10 minutes against
Yeah,
you beat.
no, it's a great point. And that's why Cal was talking about, like, so this team is prolific offensively, right? But in a lot of games this season, they don't play defense worth a lick. And he just is like...
Which means you have to outscore everybody.
Yeah, and he talked about that.
Come back to the reason defense matters. In the NCAA tournament, it's about one game. Not the best of 3, 4, 5. It's one game. That means if you're not shooting the ball well, which could happen, you better be defending so you can keep the game close. If you're not defending, you're going to be down 18-20 in an NCAA tournament game. Well, in the old days, that used to be history. Now it seems like people come back from that too. But you don't want to put yourself in that position when it's one game and you fall off a cliff. So defense will matter.
Colton, how many times did you say defense in that 20-minute press conference yesterday?
11 times.
11
the word
times.
Defense, defensively, or defended was mentioned.
Pleading, imploring, begging his team. You guys could go to a place you all want to go and have been dreaming about since you were a kid if you just play on the other side of the ball. You have enough skill set. You have enough offense. I'm a Hall of Fame coach. I can guide you there. I can take you there. Get in a stance, talk, block out, and you can find yourself there.
Yeah. Play with your feet, not with your hands.
They should bring you in the locker room.
No, they'd lose the net. They'd lose immediately if they brought me in there. But I
seen his record on the road.
I do. Okay, again, we addressed this yesterday. It's not basketball. I will say, like, when you look at teams, and they always do these like statistics when it comes to offenses and defenses. When you look at the teams that like are elite and make Final Fours, win national championships, rare is it that they're elite defensively and bad offensively. I think like Virginia was one of the few teams in recent memory that had an elite defense and just an okay mid offense. Sometimes what you're hoping for this Cal team is that they're a top 10 offense. We've seen it multiple games this season. We've seen it basically the entire year. Can they somehow flip a switch, especially with 2 freshmen in the backcourt that are going to be setting the tone defensively each and every game? Can you somehow, some way flip that switch and play that? Because if you do, you are going to go on a run, and you are going to be successful, and you are going to be watching this team late in March. But if not, they could get bounced in the first or second game this year.
You guys like catfish?
Love it.
Friday is the catfish special. Ty, here's your plate. Fridays in the evening, all you can eat catfish.
There we go.
At Art's Barbecue. So, I mean, you can just belly up and just make them keep frying fish for you. They've got the small catch and the big catch. 3 is enough for it. 3 fillets over there, usually enough for me. These aren't little bitty old curled up pieces that look like they came out of the bottom of the pan. They do nice sized fillets there at Art's, and you're going to like it. Put some of their fries with it, coleslaw. That's kind of what I get with fish. I had fish last night here in Richmond. It wasn't catfish. It wasn't as good as Art's, but it was good. But catfish on Fridays, $1 off burgers on Saturdays. So Art's is going to have something great for you to end the week. That's Art's Barbecue, 2 doors east of Lowe's in Fort Smith. You can call ahead, and they'll have it ready, 452-2550. See our good friends and have a great catfish dinner this Friday, or really any. It's on the menu every day. It's just their special on Friday at Art's Barbecue, Rogers Avenue, 2 doors east of Lowe's in Fort Smith.
All right, so we've got a little more to get to. I do want to – this email just popped up. I feel like we've been talking about this, so I'm going to read it. We've been pushing for this for a while. 2 new partnerships with the Arkansas Razorbacks. You can round up your final purchase total at Walmart.com and donate the change to the Razorback Foundation. Haven't we been saying that for like 2 years?
We have talked about that should be the deal where you could push a button and round that up. Yes, they round up for the Razorbacks.
That's online. That's in the app. That's not on the. That's not in the store.
Not
correct?
in the store.
Okay.
Well, no. Well, I'm asking you. I'm just. I'm rummaging.
We've been talking about that for a while.
I'm rummaging through this email. Yeah, it's at
finally did they give us any credit for that idea?
I'm not seeing Morning Rush credit anywhere on this email.
Should be. We were the first to mention it.
Okay. So that's the one email.
I want royalties.
No, because the royalties are going to the Razorback.
No, okay, then just give me some Walmart stock then.
Do it that way.
Yeah, a million shares will be fine.
Apparently that's
I'll never miss it.
Apparently that's the deal.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you what, maybe we just go to Gaston's. That'd be our reward. Go to Gaston's White River Resort and kick back and relax. We're at that time of the year where I don't know. Does old man winter, does the weather still clip us one more time? I don't know, but it has felt like spring. We had a line of spring storms last night roll through the state, and everything kind of feels renewed and fresh this morning. But, hey, get up to Gaston's. It's always beautiful. I love it, even in the summer and the warmest times of year. You get down on that dock early in the morning. You just go outside on the deck on your cabin. You can feel that cool air coming off the White River. There's just really nothing else like it. And I like the fact that on July 4th or the hottest days of the year, you got to wear a little bit of a windbreaker or a light jacket at 7:30 in the morning cruising up to the dam because it's a little cool. It's a great way to take a break from the heat sometimes. It's not hot now, and that makes it a great time of the year. Now, they have some March specials on lodging. The restaurant's there, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I think you're going to love your trip to Gaston's. I love every time I get to go over there. 870-431-5202 is the number. Call Clint and the crew, and they'll get your perfect trip set up for you. Customize it just the way you need it for you and your family. 870-431-5202, Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
The University of Arkansas and Nolan Richardson's team. There'll be no one in the 64 looking forward to a matchup against this young group.
The Hogs are on the road in Nashville looking to bring back an SEC championship for the first time since 2000. ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com are along for the ride, keeping you informed on Cal and the team. Exclusive coverage from the Music City is brought to you by Sutherland's. Our exclusive coverage of the SEC tournament in Nashville is also provided by the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery and by Ozark Orthopedics. Will your bracket be better than Matt Jones, Derek Ruskin, Tommy Kraft, and the rest of the ESPN Arkansas team? Then prove it. Sign up for the ESPN Arkansas and Mach 1 Motorsports Bracket Challenge Motorcycle Madness giveaway. Find the contest rules, pick your Cinderellas, and watch some epic games this postseason. For contest rules, go to hit.line.com/bracket. Our bracket challenge is presented by Mork's RV of Arkansas, Butler Furniture, and Swift's Jewelry.
Spring is here, and it's the perfect time to upgrade your home. If your garage door needs repair or you're ready for a new look, call Precision Garage Door. From broken springs and openers to brand new doors, they provide expert service and professional installation. Fully licensed and insured, with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers, and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call 844-PDS-DOOR or visit PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Precision Garage Door, voted the best in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Take your tax refund the extra mile with a road-ready certified pre-owned vehicle at Rath Auto Resources. We've been working around the clock to beef up our inventory, and we're proud to say this is our best, largest selection of road-ready certified pre-owned vehicles ever. With so many to choose from, price to sell, and backed by a comprehensive warranty, there's no reason to settle for less. Come see why your friends and neighbors voted us the River Valley's #1 pre-owned car dealer, and see why all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
Come see Cody and the gang on Advanced Mechanical Performance. You can find them at 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith. Need repair or service for your ATV or UTV? Advanced Mechanical Performance can do it all, as well as taking care of all of your power sports parts accessory needs. Give them a call today at 434-4161. That's 434-4161. Or stop by 3201 Wheeler Avenue. Advanced Mechanical Performance. It's what you should be striving for.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
All right, we are back here on the Morning Rush, a shorter segment as we close down here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. Tommy, what should Colton ask Coach Silverfield or the staff as he's heading up to the media luncheon today?
Do you have enough money in the NIL?
Okay, Christian, what do you...
And the answer will be no. So maybe the better question is, how much more money do you need to be competitive in, 4th through 8th in this league? I think we'd all settle to be in the top 8 of this league. How much more money you need to reasonably do that? That we could hold you accountable to that standard. I don't think we're ever going to have enough to be top 4 consistently. But how much more do you need? I would just assume they don't have enough and then let him tell me different.
Big C, what were you saying?
I'd ask him his thoughts on the Arkansas-Memphis game from last year, what he saw out of Arkansas, and which it's not really that relevant now, but it'd be kind of interesting to get his perspective. And then maybe, when he thought he might I'm sure he's been asked that, but kind of when he figured he would be the coach at Arkansas.
All right, it's been a What's Your Beef Wednesday presented by Richard's Country Meat Market. They've got all your corned beef, your Irish soda bread, and all your St. Patrick's meats there right now. Come on and see them off College Avenue in Fayetteville. Halftime is next.
Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus lots of fun choices. Like ping pong. Right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Get $250 on us with your first $25 wager.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
Fans, this is Elizabeth.
This is Robert. And this is Matt. We're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, your headquarters for all things Razorback.
From clothing items like Nike, Champion, Cutter & Buck, Tommy Bahama, and many more,
to a wide range of home, office, and fan cave decorations.
We even have furniture, a pool table, stuff for the yard, garden, and too much other stuff to mention.
So no matter if you're headed to the game or watching from your living room, stop by the Stadium Shop at 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville. That's 989 South Razorback Road in Fayetteville.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
or stop by the Interweb store at shoponrazorback.com.